If during the coronavirus pandemic you thought self-isolation was a nightmare, just wait until you see the world's most haunted island. Let's take a trip to this forbidden place and see what's waiting for us there, shall we? Poveglia Island, off the coast of Venice and Lido, is known as the Island of Ghosts because of its shady past. According to legend, people were carried yelling and screaming to the island if they had even the tiniest signs of the Black Death. The 7-hectare field was also utilized as a mass grave, with 160,000 dead believed to have been cremated to prevent the disease from spreading. Human ash is said to make up more than half of the island's soil to this day. Many people believe that the anguished spirits of the dead still walk the island, haunting everyone who dares to set foot on it. Even if the mere concept of it would deter most of us, individuals nonetheless travel there to see what all the buzz is about. Many of those ghosts were left behind by the Black Death, which raced over Europe in the 14th century, murdering millions of people and halving the population of certain cities in months or even weeks. After the infamous outbreak of 1348, the bubonic plague continued. For centuries, it emerged again and again. Let's head to the mental asylum. In the late 1800s, a mental asylum was erected here, and it still stands today. Although the building is dilapidated and the walls are deteriorating, you may still locate commonplace artifacts such as clawfoot tubs. Legend has it that a particularly insane doctor worked at Poveglia's mental institution in the early 20th century. When told of his infamous trials on patients, it still shocks people to this day. For example, he believed that lobotomies were an excellent method of treating and curing mental illness, so he performed them on a number of patients, often against their will. The surgeries were heinously depraved as well as painful. With no anesthetic or regard for sanitation, he utilized hammers, chisels, and drills. The most dangerous experiments, according to reports, were saved for a limited group of refugees who were forced into the hospital's bell tower. It didn't matter what he did in there, the screams of those who were being tortured could be heard all around the island. The cruel doctor's karma caught up with him in the end, as they say. After becoming possessed by one of the island's many spirits, the doctor began suffering from mental pain, according to local mythology. He eventually went completely crazy and climbed to the top of the bell tower, where he committed suicide by jumping to his death. His passing is the subject of different accounts. According to some, he was forced to commit suicide, either by a furious island spirit or by some of his furious patients. According to legend, a nurse witnessed him fall and stated that he initially survived, but that a ghostly mist engulfed his body and choked him until he died. Later, the asylum was converted into a geriatric center, which piled up even more bodies until 1975, when it was finally shut down. Many unlawful visitors have reported unusual voices and being touched or scratched by spirits, indicating paranormal activity. People have speculated that a construction crew left abruptly after attempting to renovate the old building because they were spooked by ghosts. Years after the mental institution on Poveglia Island closed, a family decided to buy the island and build a private vacation home there. On the first day, they arrived and settled down, eager to begin their new journey. But the first night was marked with such tragedies that the family fled within hours, never to return. An enraged resident ghost nearly ripped off their daughter's face, they claimed. It is no shock that human bones continue to wash up on the coast of the small island of Poveglia, which is home to over 100,000 plague victims and hospital patients. Even fishermen avoid Poveglia's shoreline for fear of picking up human bones in their nets, and this fact alone is enough to terrify any possible visitors or buyers. It may interest you to know that despite the fact that the very last person's body expired on these grounds many years ago, the scent of human decomposition still lingers. Many others believe it's because some of the tombs didn't burn the bodies or adequately cover them to keep the stench at bay. If you put aside the ghost stories, there is real estate value to the island, although we can only picture the constant stink emanating from the ground. Poveglia was auctioned off in 2014 with a starting offer of just under $500,000. The highest bid was $624,400, but regulators considered it to be too low. Following a change of heart, the property was finally sold for $560,000. It was originally sold to Luigi Brugnaro, who planned to renovate it into a high-end hotel. It is unclear what exactly he plans to do with the land now that it hasn't been touched in 5 years, but we know for a fact that he doesn't want to live there. There's never been any mention that he might move in, and we can't really blame him given the place's awful reputation. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, then give it a thumbs up and ring the notification bell button for our latest super rich daily updates. Thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you next time.